English podcast, conversation practice for beginners.
Welcome back to our English podcast. I am Rachel.
And I am Mike.
So, Mike, I want to tell you about 3 students I had in my ESL class in the U.S. Completely different personalities.
All right, this sounds interesting already.
One was a Japanese engineer who knew every grammar rule, but was terrified to speak. Another, a Brazilian student, talked to everyone, made tons of mistakes, and improved super fast. The third was a German programmer, studied alone, almost never spoke, but understood everything perfectly.
Wait, so the quietest student was the best?
Exactly. And this taught me one thing. The smartest learner isn't always the one with the highest score. It's the one who matches their learning style with their personality.
So, what's my style? And can I even change it?
That's what we're diving into today. By the end, you'll understand your own style and how to use it to actually enjoy learning English. Later, I'll explain how each style handles real-life situations, like ordering food or talking at the airport, and why it matters for your confidence.
Quick reminder, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This episode's gonna be worth it.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about how your learning style actually affects the way you pick up English. Mike, remember those 3 students I mentioned before? Let me show you what a typical day looked like for each of them. And it's not all in the classroom. Picture the Japanese engineer in class. He knows every grammar rule, but when the teacher asks him to say something aloud, he just freezes, pencil hovering over the desk.
Oh man, that's me. I'd be sitting there thinking, okay, I have the perfect sentence in my head, but if I screw up one tiny word, everyone's gonna think I'm clueless. The pressure alone kills me.
Yeah, that perfectionist tension is real. Now, switch scenes. The Brazilian student. She's at a language meetup, laughing with a group of classmates, spilling coffee while trying to explain a story in English. Totally fearless, mistakes flying everywhere.
I love her energy. I'd probably be thinking, I wish I could just talk like that without overthinking every word. But man, I'd sound ridiculous. I can see a lot of learners freezing because they're scared to look silly.
Exactly. That social butterfly energy is something many people admire but hesitate to copy. And the third one, picture the German programmer on a train. Headphones in, listening to podcasts, nodding along, barely saying a word. He's absorbing everything, but not interacting.
Ah, I get this. I'd be like, yeah, I could totally do that. Just study alone, understand it all, but then when it comes time to speak, silence. I'd feel awkward even ordering a coffee.
Right. Quiet, focused, internal learning. Not bad at all, just a different style.
Wow, so we've got the overthinker, the fearless chatterbox, and the solo observer. I feel like a little bit of each of them is in me.
Exactly. And the interesting thing, most learners don't realize their style is shaping how they experience English every day. Hold on to that thought. We'll come back to it. All right, Mike, remember our Japanese engineer in class? Heart racing, palms sweaty, teacher asks a question?
Oh, I'm so that guy sometimes. I'd think, I'm not sure if this is correct, and just freeze. And the whole class is watching. It's like my brain stops working.
Exactly. And when you freeze like that, the other person doesn't think, oh, he's being careful with grammar. They usually think, maybe he's not interested in talking.
Ugh, that's brutal. I can imagine a classmate just nodding and moving on, thinking I'm not into it.
Now, think about our Brazilian student at the meetup. chatty, laughing, throwing herself into every conversation.
Yeah, I'd probably say to myself, oh my God, I totally messed up, but whatever. But then I'd catch myself comparing, thinking I can't talk like that without embarrassing myself.
And what happens to the people around you? They might start thinking you don't want to join or that you're just shy, even though you do want to participate.
Right, so the opportunity to practice slips by. They see me frozen, not the knowledge I have.
Finally, the German programmer on the train, headphones in, listening alone.
I'd be like, perfect, I'll just listen, no need to speak yet.
And then, when he needs to order a coffee or ask for directions, he overplans, freezes, and the barista or stranger just waits. They think he doesn't understand English, even though he actually does.
Wow, I've done that. Standing there silently, nodding while the person starts talking to someone else.
And this is where most people go wrong, Mike. In all three cases, it's not about grammar, vocabulary, or how much you study. The real issue is how your learning style fits or doesn't fit your personality.
Wait, so all three students, the overthinker, the chatty box, the solo listener, same pattern?
Exactly. And noticing that is the first step. It explains why learners can feel stuck even if they study hard every day. Mike, here's the truth. It's not about grammar, vocabulary, or how much you study. The real issue is how your learning style fits or doesn't fit your personality.
Wait, so all those moments earlier, freezing in class, overthinking at the cafe, or staring silently on the train, it wasn't that we didn't know English.
Exactly. I've seen students who were geniuses on paper, Mike, but they were miserable because they were fighting their own nature. Take Hiro, the Japanese engineer. I remember the sun hitting the whiteboard, the classroom quiet except for the scratch of pens. I asked him, "What do you like to do on weekends?" And he just froze. His mind had a perfect answer, but he couldn't bridge it to speech.
Oh, wow, I feel that. It's like I've been trying to wear a suit 3 sizes too small. I thought I was the problem, but it's really the fit.
Then there was Anna, the Brazilian student at a lively cafe conversation club. People were laughing, swapping stories. She dove in head first, making mistakes left and right, and everyone loved it. But she told me later, I feel like I'm chaotic. Maybe I'm not learning efficiently. And yet, that's exactly why she progressed faster than she realized.
That makes sense. Her style just worked for her.
And remember Lars, the German programmer on the train, headphones in, listening to podcasts alone for hours. He rarely spoke in class, but when we checked his comprehension, he was absorbing everything perfectly. He was a solo learner, and it suited him.
Ah, so it's like the same pattern in all 3 cases. It's never the English itself, it's whether the style matches the person.
Exactly. Now think back to those 3 situations we discussed. The classroom, the cafe, the train. Look at them again with this in mind. Suddenly, everything shifts. You'll notice the moments that felt awkward before aren't really about your English. They're about fit.
Ah, I see it now. That clicks. The before is clear, and I can feel the difference already.
And that's the split point, Mike. From here on, we revisit the same scenarios, but with this new lens. The difference is striking, and this is where learning starts to feel natural. You know, Mike, all those moments we just talked about, the overthinker, the social chatterbox, the solo listener, are just the surface. In real life, there are tons of small situations where English trips people up.
Yeah, like when I travel, I end up hesitating at cafes or at check-ins, even though I know the words.
Exactly. That's why I always tell students to check out Travel with Rachel, the Survival Guide. It helps you actually use English in the way that fits your style, whether you like chatting with people, practicing solo, or learning naturally through experience.
Makes sense. I've seen learners start applying it immediately, and suddenly those awkward moments don't feel so scary.
Right. The episode shows you the patterns. This guide gives you the practical steps to act on them. First link in the description.
Perfect timing, too, if you want to stop overthinking every conversation.
Yeah, now let's revisit our 3 students and see how things change when you apply this.
Wait, let me try to be hero for a second. So instead of that 10-second silence, he could just say, actually, I'm still processing, but I think the solution could be...
Yes, that small change turns hesitation into contribution. The teacher sees engagement, the classmates hear him thinking aloud, not stumbling.
Wow, it's like a wall lifted. Before the room felt heavy, now it feels interactive.
Exactly. Now, Anna, the social learner, at first she avoided conversations, worried about making mistakes. Now she leans into her style. Sorry, I'm still learning, but did you mean... She asks questions, joins group discussions, and gets immediate feedback.
Ah, so she's using her energy and personality. Instead of hiding, she makes the conversation work for her.
Right. And the classmates respond warmly. Mistakes become opportunities, not roadblocks.
I can see the difference. She's still herself, but now the English is connecting instead of stopping.
Now Lars, the solo learner, previously he overplanned ordering at the cafe, froze, and the barista misunderstood. Now he uses a mental script he practiced. Hi, could I get a cappuccino and a croissant, please? And if he hesitates, he silently rehearses the next line he prepared.
So he's confident because he practiced in his way. The barista sees a calm, capable customer instead of someone lost.
Exactly. The contrast is clear. Hero speaks with small steps. Anna socializes and experiments. Lars uses solo prep to stay calm. Same situations, completely different results.
Wow, I get it. Before, they were trapped by their reactions. Now they're working with their styles, not against them. That's huge.
Yes, and if the context changes, another class, a new cafe, they adjust naturally. That's the heart of the mirror. Same scenario, completely new outcome.
Okay, I get the logic now. But how do I actually practice this tomorrow? Like in real life?
Good question. First, watch out for a very common trap. People understand the idea of use your style, and then they go too far.
What do you mean?
For example, a solo learner might say, "Great, I'll just keep listening to podcasts. No speaking at all." That's the trap. Your style is the entry point, not the whole system.
Ah, so Lars listening on the train is good, but if he never opens his mouth, he's stuck again.
Exactly. Same with social learners like Anna. Another trap is thinking, I'll just talk a lot and ignore corrections. Then mistakes fossilize.
So the goal isn't comfort only, it's comfort plus stretch.
Perfect way to say it.
All right, test me. Give me a situation.
Okay, you're at a hotel reception. Your key room stopped working. Yesterday, you might have panicked and overplanned. Now what do you say?
Maybe something simple. Hi, I think my key isn't working. Could you help me?
Perfect. Short, clear, natural. A native immediately understands the problem. They're not judging your grammar, they're just helping.
That already feels easier than building some perfect sentence in my head.
Exactly. Now, here's a practical way to train this. Use shadowing and role play.
Meaning?
Shadow a short dialogue from a podcast. Repeat it out loud. Then do a quick role play alone. Hotel, cafe, airport. Just 2 or 3 survival phrases like, "Could you help me? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can I ask you something?"
So it's like what Lars would do alone, but preparing for real moments.
Yes, and then when the moment comes, like Hero in class or Anna in conversation, you already have a bridge between thinking and speaking.
So if that classroom situation happens again, I'd just jump in with something like, "Actually, I'm still thinking, but maybe."
Exactly. And that small step keeps the conversation alive. That's how the mirror becomes real life.
You know what's funny, Rachel? I came into this episode thinking the problem was my English. Like, I thought I needed better grammar, more vocabulary, more confidence. But now I'm leaving thinking something completely different. It's not really about knowing more English. It's about understanding how you use it.
Exactly. And once you see that, everything changes. Because learning English stops being a fight against yourself.
Yeah, Hero isn't broken. Anna isn't chaotic. Lars isn't antisocial.
Right. They were just trying to learn in a way that didn't match who they are. And the moment that changes, the language starts flowing in a completely different way.
It's crazy how small the shift is.
It really is. I remember when I first realized this while teaching in the US. I had students who knew the same grammar, the same vocabulary, but the ones who adapted English to their personality always moved forward faster.
So the difference between being stuck and actually using English, sometimes it's just seeing the situation differently.
Exactly. Sometimes the difference between freezing and speaking isn't more English. It's a new perspective. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And before we wrap up, just a quick reminder. Everything we explored today about learning styles and real-life English is exactly why I put together Travel with Rachel, the survival guide. It's basically a practical map for those everyday moments we talked about. Cafes, hotels, airports, so you can use English in a way that actually fits your style.
Yeah, seriously, guys, if you want to practice those real-life moments without freezing, the guide is in the description. First link down there. And hey, if this episode made you realize something about your learning style, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, I'm curious, are you more like Hero, Anna, or Lars? Tell us in the comments.
Yes, we read the comments all the time, and your questions often turn into future episodes. And speaking of that, next episode, we're diving into something really practical, how to improve your English 1% every day, small habits that make a huge difference over time.
So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that one.
All right, thanks for listening, everyone.
See you in the next episode.